comics fans!
Welcome to Just Comics!
Welcome. I'm Seth.
And I'm Steve, and this month's pick is going to be something new. We're going to go with an independent publisher, so we're doing Isom #1, Ill-Advised from Rippaverse Comics. And please don't forget that we are a new channel.
Yeah, like, subscribe, ring the bell, and maybe tell a friend.
So we're trying something new in January. I'm calling it New Year, New Character. So what the point is we're going to be doing a first appearance of a character each January. And this time, we're not doing just a new character. We're doing a brand new comic book universe. So the book starts out, and it shows you the world a little bit. You get to see what some of the people are like, the police force, things like that. And we get introduced to our protagonist, who goes by Avery right now at this point in time. And he's got a little ranch outside of town. So Avery gets a call from his sister, and she wants him to go check on a family friend by the name of Jasmine, who was known to be going around with this guy named Darren, which Avery knows from high school. It just seems that Jasmine had gone AWOL, and her mom is worried about her.
So after he hears about this, we go back to the city. There's some dude following a chick around, and he gets smacked. But it turns out this chick also has sweat powers. I'm going to call it sweat powers. She can shoot sweat at people.
I think she just knows how to manipulate water, kind of like how Iceman knows how to manipulate ice. But then these guys in green show up.
Alpha Corps, the super enforcers, they're
basically
powered police.
Yes, they're superhero police. And they're there for the people that the regular police can't handle, which kind of grounds this in a sense of reality, because obviously there's going to be not good people with superpowers, and so you're going to need a team of superpowered police officers to handle that.
True, very much.
So we're checking back in with Avery as he shows up at Club Merc. This is Darren's club, so he's going there to check on Jasmine, like we mentioned earlier.
What I like about the Club Merc is that the Q looks like a record, but Merc, is obviously short for mercenary.
Darren and Avery have a few words, but
then the guy goes and disrespects Chaboy, and he does not take that very kindly at all.
I mean, I kind of get it when someone gets in your face.
When someone gets in your face and you apparently have super strength, that face gets thrown way the hell away from you.
That is true. That is very true. I mean, look, he did basically try and tell everybody, look, you back off. Like, I'm not even trying to start anything.
Like, you don't want this.
Yeah.
They wanted this.
So in the process of all this, he kills at least one guy here. There's no way he survived that. But if memory serves, I could be wrong, but I think Eric July said that don't think of Isom as a hero. He did try it at one point. It did not work out, though.
That took me a minute, because that was my first time being introduced to this universe and these characters, and I was like, oh, okay, so this guy just does what he wants. Cool.
Right? I mean, again, he did try and kind of say,
he tries.
Hey,
he has a code, obviously.
Then this ginormous guy comes up. He absolutely gets his butt handed to him here.
Mm-hmm.
He gets thrown literally
into Yaira.
Yeah. And
the worst person you want to be thrown into.
And she
does not take well to that.
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, she mistakes him for an undercover Alpha Corps member, flies up in the air with him, and chokeslams him into a car.
Yeah, and for all of his powers and abilities, flight is sadly not one of them.
No, it was not. So Avery escapes from the hospital, and his sister picks him up through a ping on her phone from his GPS location. And there's a spot here that, in my opinion, Avery comes across a bit unlikable. He actually kind of forgot about saving Jasmine. And it's because, he got talked down to. And that's why he's going back.
His pride got hurt. He doesn't care about the girl he was there to save. He just cares about settling his pride.
And that's going to come back to bite him later on. He's a bit hot-headed and acting emotionally instead of thinking things through. So he grabs a spare set of clothes to head back to the club. Inside the club, there's some seeds being planted for some future stories. We're not going to get into that stuff. We're going to keep our focus on Avery because, one, we want you to actually go out and pick up this book and read it. And two, it's an 80-page book. So we would
and the world is also still small, so there's not really too much that we can expound on. We can't go, yes, this guy's got this thing because of this whole backstory that happened one time 50 arcs from now. But there's not 50 arcs because there's like 2 books.
So Avery actually runs into Jasmine. She kind of blows him off a little bit. he's just trying to check on her, make sure that she's there of her own free will. Before she can even answer that, they get interrupted by a couple more guys. And he asks a really good question here.
Why is putting your hands on someone so aggressively your first instinct? You're in a world of superpowers where, like, the skinny guy could, like, throw you halfway across the continent. Why the heck are you just going up to someone and putting your hands on them?
He makes a mess of these couple of guys, and he tries to just warn people. Straight up says, "Just take me to Darren, so I don't have to tear this place apart." But
And when he just says tear this place apart, he literally means, I'm going to tear this place apart.
yeah, I mean, there is just literally a mountain of people that he has laid the fuck out.
Yes, when he says, they say, you got to go through me, he goes, yeah, okay.
But then the big guy shows up from earlier.
And the guy makes the mistake of calling him a hero or blaming heroism. He's like, nah, I'm not doing this because of a hero. Don't credit that. You credit me.
I mean, not saying he doesn't get knocked around a bit, but he definitely puts his licks in.
Yeah, and then he does that, which is cool. Like crashes into the wall, like holds on to almost like there's a Spider-Man, and then flings himself off the wall and body checks the dude hard. Of course, this is the part where the actual police show up.
Yeah, and then Avery's just, ugh, why now? He was so close to getting what he wanted. He just removed the biggest obstacle in his way. He's not trying to hurt anybody, so now he has to run from the cops.
And the police think he's flying, but he's not flying. He's just following the style.
And then he shows back up at his sister.
See, this is the part where I actually realized that she was his sister. Because I don't know. I was like, is she his handler? Is this a friend? I don't understand. And then I get this part, and I'm like, oh, sister. So the relationship is made more clear. So if you were reading and you were like, sister, what? And then you get here, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, sister.
Yeah, so we also find out here that the sister has a little daughter, so he has an aunt. I don't know what it is, because I am a big superhero comic guy, clearly. But when you get these little family moments, to me, like, these are what make a character.
Oh, yeah.
That could be why I'm a married Spider-Man fan. I loved when Peter Parker and Mary Jane were married and together, because you had more of those little relationship family kind of moments. So like even when we did Miss Marvel,
Yes.
My favorite part was her and her dad, right?
Yeah.
So my favorite part of this is actually this moment here with him and his niece. So Avery suggests to his sister that they go and hide because Darren might go after them because he can't get to Avery directly.
Now, that's another thing, is that in most superhero books, families are left out because they know that starts this whole thing that you don't want to get into. But in this one, they're not afraid of pulling the families.
Yeah, it's one of those ways they're trying to ground this in some kind of reality. Meanwhile, back at the club, Darren's making a speech. So he's like, we got to make an example out of people because there's all these little dogs that want to come up and try and bite the big dog, and he's the big dog, that kind of thing.
He's trying to be the big dog, but there's a lot of other big dogs around.
So
he wants to be the biggest dog with the biggest D.
While all that's going on, Avery heads over to this little shop. Turns out that this is the person that made his costume back when he did try being a superhero.
Also turns out it's not a little shop anymore.
That is true.
And it's not just the only shop either.
No.
And they don't use terrestrial fabrics only.
That is also true. Then we get a shot of him wearing his Isom outfit for the first time since the cover.
But what's also interesting is that this guy is basically saying he can add effects. So obviously, Avery's biggest concern right now is mitigating fall damage because he doesn't want to get dropped by like a Yaira again. Which I think it's cool that you can like just do that. Like, yeah, sure, I'll just enchant your suit for you.
Yeah.
Hey fans, it's time for
Comic Book Reviews.
For the story, I'm going to go ahead and give this 4 stars. I do like to support a lot of independent books. This was really trying to accomplish a lot all in one story, and I feel like it accomplishes its goal of establishing both a new universe as well as a new character. On the art, Cliff is a solid artist, and keep in mind, our scale only goes up to 5, so when I say I'm going to give this 3.5 stars, don't take that as a knock, because on a scale of 1 to 5, that's actually really solid. I was probably a little too generous to previous artists that I gave that score to.
No.
So overall, I'm going to say, yes, this is a must read. If you're someone who's looking to get into comics but intimidated by all the decades of continuity, this is a brand new universe. It's just ramping up. So this is the perfect place to start. All right, Seth, how about you?
Oh, me. Let's see. So I also have to agree. You know, that the character was an interesting one. He, like I said, he's not the biggest. He's not the brawniest. He's not the strongest. He's not the quickest. Not the toughest. Not the most durable. But he's scrappy, which is nice. The universe itself, I can tell, is they've already established that there's power to people who are beyond the stars, and this is a common thing, and like everyone's aware of it. There's not some like, oh no, mutants. No, it's just another Tuesday. Sure, no problem. Like I think that's kind of cool. It's I did not think the character was incredibly likable, but I guess that was probably part of the point. But he did have I like his moral code basically. Like he has a code that he sticks with, and he tries to do the right thing as far as his morally seen right is, but if someone gets in your way, you're just gonna have to get them out of your way. I guess I'll go also 4 stars on that too. Art wise, I like the more gritty look. The artist doesn't shy away from showing blood splatter. So I'll go 4 stars on the art. As far as a must read or not, if you're looking for something new, if you're looking for something fresh, if you're just looking to get into a world where you don't have to remember whose clone is cloned of what, must read, yes.
So that puts another end to another Just Comics video, and the first one of 2024.
Happy 2024.
All right, guys. So we appreciate you guys sticking around here till the end. And if you can share this with somebody that you love, because we are a gift.
Use your mouth and your vocal cords and communicate your like of this video to someone and say, hey, you want to watch a thing? And then you pull it up on your phone and you show them aggressively. Point your phone in their face and make them watch our video. Make them sit there for 15 minutes or however long and make them watch our video and then say, look, there's more.
And on that note, you guys have a good one.
So we'll see you next time on Just Comics. What I like about Club Merc is the O is a record, but Merc is also, like Merc, like mercenary.
It's
So
a Q. Merc, not Murrow. All right, and that puts another Just Comics video out to rest. And I don't know why I said it like that.